Kitchen today with Korey Kealey. We're cooking, and we just mentioned that we were going to be cooking with some cabbage, Foodland Ontario.
Yes.
And Leanne and I are both guilty of not picking up a cabbage when we go to the store.
Yeah. Well, maybe you just don't know what to do with them. So rather than just making coleslaw, there are all kinds of interesting ways to incorporate cabbage into your meals. And maybe you don't know if you love it either. So this recipe, I'm not demonstrating it, but this is an amazing recipe. It's called cabbage roll-up lasagnas.
That looks really good.
So basically what you're doing is you're chopping up about half a cabbage, which will give you 4 cups of cabbage, and you're adding it to your meat mixture, and then you're rolling it up in lasagna noodles. So this is a great family meal where you're adding super, super dense nutrients without them necessarily even knowing. I mean, most people do love cabbage, but if for some reason they don't, this would be a good way to start it out.
And then so you just made little rolls with the noodles instead of laying them out like
you basically take the noodles, you layer the meat and the cabbage mixture, and you put some tomato sauce on, you roll it up, you put it in here, and you bake it at 350 for 40 minutes. It's
I love that idea.
Yeah, really easy.
Okay.
So soup. You know me, I love soup, and I love having something to whip up. And I look at this, and this is literally one of those things where you look in your fridge and you've got nothing. So you've got a can of beans, you've got some pasta, you've got some canned tomatoes. You always have onions and garlic, right?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
We always say that.
Yep.
And cabbage. Cabbage lasts forever in the fridge. When you buy it, you can store it in the fridge like this. If you wrap it in saran or plastic wrap, it'll stay longer. If the outside leaves get kind of off, just peel them away, and you're going to have a fresh piece underneath. Once you cut your cabbage, you're going to want to wrap that with saran wrap again and refrigerate it, because it's just the air gets at it.
Yeah.
But if by chance
that'll
you don't,
still last cut too.
It lasts. Yeah, it lasts forever.
Okay.
So you can just, and it adds such bright color and beauty. With the purple cabbage, we're adding that to our soup. I'm just going to put the noodles in here just to get them started to warm up a bit.
Is this that
orzo? That's orzo pasta. You could definitely use an arborio rice if you wanted to. You could use quinoa, which would be great because that's also a protein. Okay. So I'm just going to get that started so it simmers while we talk. So for the red cabbage, I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but your cabbage can turn gray or it can turn green or blue. Yeah. So the trick to keeping the color to your red cabbage is to add an acid to it. So if you have some lemon juice, so 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, toss it with your cabbage, and it's going to keep the red color. It's not going to bleed out on you.
So it's like the whole thing, like what you do with apples after you slice them, right? So they don't go brown?
Yeah, exactly. So, and then lemon juice is also, it pulls out flavors. So sometimes when I'm making my own soup and there's nothing going on in it, I'll just squeeze some lemon juice in it, and it brightens some of the flavors that are already in there. So you're kind of adding that. So this is just 1 can of diced tomatoes out of your pantry. You could use fresh tomatoes if you want. And then these are the Romano beans. This is like a little bit of a minestrone. And then our last thing we do is we add this in, and you basically let this simmer for 8 to 10 minutes, and just enough to cook the pasta and to soften up the cabbage, and you've got dinner ready literally in moments. So, and it's hearty and gorgeous and loaded with nutrients.
Well, and that's the thing, like there's everything right here in this pot. Like a lot of people like to at least have 1 day a week, maybe where they do like a meatless night or whatever. Like this is your protein, this is everything right here.
Yeah, you've got it. So just a quick and easy idea. Again, Foodland Ontario is full of them. Everything here local. If you don't know what to do with cabbage, check out foodlandontario.ca, punch in cabbage red or Savoy or whatever, and you will get more recipes than you know what to do.
Now, do they taste different at all?
Well, there's a different texture. This is the Savoy, and it's really, this is light. I like this one because it you don't have to chew as much. So when you look at it, you can see it's just a little bit more tender. Yeah. You might use this as a coleslaw. The heartier ones, like the red and the green one that look like this, it's a bit more dense. Those ones are great for cabbage rolls. They all are, but you know what? You might be able to leave this a little bit more fluffy. Yeah. Where when you're chopping up the red or the green, just do it a little bit more finely to get the texture. You know, but they don't really taste different. They just start, well, this one I do think is a bit,
just different texture.
I find this one's a little bit sweeter. And you know what happens? And try this. I'll cut little hunks of this and I'll just leave it lying around on the counter. And my kids come home and they pick it up and they eat it like an apple. Like I'll see them like chomping on it. And
it's true. If you literally cut something and prepare it and leave it out, people just
leave it.
Like naturally graze around it.
Right? Yeah. And it's filling and it's, you know, it's good and it's so pretty. Look
I was just gonna say, look how pretty it is. It looks like a whole map or something.
I'm thinking of food styling with it. Like, what can we do with this? Fan it. It's
you
so
always see,
pretty.
You always see the inner beauty to everything. Eh?
It's gorgeous.
What can I garnish with this?
What can I do with this? Yeah.
Okay, what are we gonna do coming up next?
Okay.